the lifestyle and enterprise value business and that difference. I would love for you to touch on that and what you learned from that advisor.
Yeah, it's so I always thought I could do both. Like I could have this lifestyle and also travel, all that, and then also build a business for scale. But building a business for enterprise value, I actually had to keep my profit as high as possible. Comparatively to when you live in a lifestyle business, you want to be paying as little tax, spending as much money in your lifestyle, and keep your profit as low as possible. So there's two different things. One, running a lifestyle business, you want to have as lean an operation as possible, so you obviously make as much profit for yourself that you can then go and spend and live this life. Running a business for value, that doesn't matter as much, and actually my costs are significantly higher. To be honest, I probably made the same amount in profit, probably more, but like in comparative, like the profit margin was significantly higher in when I was running my lifestyle business, because I had like three or four people in my team, very low overhead, wasn't really paying them too much. They were like all part-time staff, and I was just spending all the business money myself. Now it's like my profit margin was like 20%, I think, comparative to before. It was like maybe double that, because I've got, you know, three people who are like management positions in my business who, you know, one makes multiples, you know, like 6 figures a year in her salary, others, you know, high 5 figures, older people like 47-year-olds in the company who are actually building a structure. So the main differences I see are, to build a business for value vs business for lifestyles, you have to have a good management team. So essentially the idea is that if you want to sell your company, you want to be as away from the business as possible. And sure, when you're running a lifestyle business, you can, because you can automate a bunch of things and have VAs and whatever, but it's still not a business that can run without you. So you want to basically have people in place, so experienced people is one thing. What I found is that actually having a bigger business with more staff was seen as more valuable to the buying company than having a smaller business with fewer people that's just running this lifestyle direction. Systems, processes as well. And then also investing in things that you don't realize that are quite important. So having like a back office team, which what they call it, so like an HR and people function, like a full marketing function, a legal function, like these all like kind of back office elements and things are very important. And then having like a system where you can take clients and basically grow them. So like a client service function. So essentially a client that comes in, say they're paying you $5,000 a month to begin with, that you can then scale and retain your clients to start spending over time. Lifestyle business for me was very much just like small clients, just churn, lots of stuff just happening over and over. Now it's like much fewer clients, much more senior team that are focused on these clients and focused on growing these clients from 50k a month to 500k a month to whatever. And you just have to be more like on your numbers from a financial perspective as well. I spend a lot of time like looking at the strategy and looking at the numbers comparative to before, where for me it was more money in than money going out. Okay. Good. That was literally my strategy was literally more. I made more money this month than it went out. That's great. That's all I need right now. Here it's like you actually have to strategically like look at your financial modeling and budgeting. How much are you spending? What's the return on each of those items that are coming back? What is your salary cost comparative to the profit, to the margin that you're making in your business to then ultimately lead to your EBITDA? Are you investing in the right things that are actually going to lead to growth of the business? Are you making an investment now that is going to reduce your profit right now, but it's going to then pay back dividends in say 6 months time, so a more senior hire? So a lot of these more strategic things. And also back then when I was running the lifestyle business, as I say, I was trying to keep profit as low as possible. So I got all this money and then I was just spending it on my life. So the way that my type of business is valued, an agency is valued on a multiple of profit. So if I was reporting to the HMRC like 30k a year, I'm not making very much. So now it's like I had to pay a fuck ton of tax. I was paying a fuck ton of taxes now, but then I would get a multiple on the profit that I was making.
Okay, so the goal was always to sell the business. When you decided to pivot from lifestyle to enterprise?
Yeah, the goal's always been to sell the business.
Okay.
But I wasn't planning on doing it as early as I did right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I was planning on doing it probably around the age of 27. So I'm 24 right now. So I did about 3 years earlier than I was considering doing it. But the goal was always to sell it. When I pivoted into this more enterprise value business, it was not necessarily just to think about let's start trying to get the business ready to sell right now. It was just more to get past this phase of my life and really actually build something of impact and value, because that's why when I first started, that's what it was all about. It was like trying to leave a legacy, build something of impact, build something that I could actually be very proud of. And in my eyes, building a business that lets me travel and spend money on cars and clubs and stuff is not that impressive to me. It's just doing stupid shit with a lot of money. It's not really financial responsibility.
I get it.
It was building something that can create jobs, can work with very cool influencers, work with very cool brands, be something that can actually be perceived as valuable in the market if someone want to buy it, is well known, is reputable. That's what it was all about. So it wasn't really like at that point in September 22 I was like, I'm going to start my business now. I knew I wanted to do it at some point. It was the year after I actually started my exit process on September 26th, 2024. It was a year later when I was like, now is the time to do it. And it came from a few internal factors, but also a few market factors. So the best time to sell an influencer marketing agency was 2022. The next best time to sell an influencer marketing agency is this year, because the creator economy is in so much demand right now because of the growth that it's going through. And like by 2030, the influencer marketing industry is going to be worth 100 billion. Right now, it's worth 33 billion.
Would it then make sense to sell it later?
No. So the idea right now is that the businesses that want to buy the companies right now want to get influencer in now so that they can capitalize on that growth. So they're paying premiums right now in terms of multiples.
It's like the AI thing happening at the moment. Buy now because of
it's like that. So like there's like the market time is like you want to basically sell a bit before the peak. Basically, you don't want to sell before the peak, because then at that point it's like the buying company is almost like maxed out the value that they can get from your business. So right now is a very valuable time because they see the exponential growth curve. So they know that this type of business model is going to go over the next 3 years. So the multiples that my type of company are getting are at premium compared to other social media marketing businesses in terms of my size as well. So a great example is, I'm not allowed to disclose the exact figure of my exit because the buyer does, but we sold for multiple, mid-seven figures based on the profit we were doing. Another business in 2 years that sold 3 years ago that I'm friends with the founder, he got a 27 times profit multiple. He got paid 27 times.
Is that on an agency?
An agency, yeah.
What?
And another business that sold was 30 times the amount of.
Is this with
this is influencer agency. So that's what I'm saying. The best time to sell was then, because now the next best time is now. Multiples are nowhere near as good as then, but they're still very high, and that's the type of multiples that you get in the influencer space right now.
It's like a software.
Yeah, you're getting some crazy multiples. Like he was doing about £1 million in profit by then. Him and his walked out with 27 million in their sales. And another agency that I know, they were doing like 30 million or so in profit or something like that at the time. And I think they ended up with they were doing 10 million or so in profit, and they ended up with 300 million between the three of them as their sales, right? So right now is a very good time because, as I say, a lot of these traditional performance marketing or digital marketing agencies that don't do influencer marketing, clients are demanding this and wanting to spend more and more. So if they're buying this into their service offering now, then they can basically ride this wave of growth. So 66 agencies in my space have been bought this year already, and that's quite a lot, in terms of acquisition comparative to previous years. So its timing is very good right now. In terms of internal factors, it's like I have to stay, most of these sales, as an agency, especially at my size of business, you've got to stay with the company for a bit. You're never going to walk out on the day. So I'm with the business for 18 months. It's anywhere usually you get between a year to 3 years. So some of these other agencies had 2-3 years. I know an agency, they're in for 5 years. So I'm in for about 18 months. And I can stay longer if I want to, but that's basically when I can make the decision of I can go or whatever. For me, it was I want to start a family in my late 20s, and I was thinking if I'm going to sell at 27 and then stay in for a couple of years, it might I kind of want to be in a position where I'll finish this business by 26ish. Then I can maybe think about what's my next business venture, what's planned for family. So that was the kind of reason of speeding up a little bit. Also, I'm fucking sick and tired of influencers at this point. I've been working with them for so long, and some of them are really difficult to deal with. I'm sure you guys know work with creators but especially when you work with the bigger creators and brands and sponsorship, they're very self-entitled, very slow, very annoying to work with, and it's not as simple as just going on Facebook, throwing 100k in meta ads and letting them run it. It's we got to deal with these people. And like I've been doing this now for 10 years, and like, you know, I love my business and I'm very happy. I'm building it for the next 18 months, but it's like, do I want to be doing this forever? It's not a call. I do want to get into like SaaS or build some sort of software, maybe build an e-commerce product. Like it's always been a interest of mine to create something that's valuable to like a consumer, vs just making rich influencers richer and rich brands richer, which is what I currently do. So that was like kind of on my mind of, do I really want to be doing this into my late 20s? Plus also the final thing was, I've been building this business, obviously you two are, you know, work together, co-founders. It's very lonely running a company solo, and I've kind of realized, like, at the end of the day, like, I've got senior people on my team, but all the responsibility falls down to me. Like, I don't have someone else that I can like discuss and come to a solution with, especially when the bad is the bad. And like being an entrepreneur, you guys know, this is a very lonely process.